What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Alright. I'm here to add my 2 cents to the newest Kobe Bryant subject. So now I think it was an article. It was something said about, I forgot it on whose podcast, but no, I'm sorry. All right, so Jim Jackson was on Paul Pierce's podcast, and they were talking about the playoff game where Kobe supposedly quit, and Jim Jackson gave the explanation. He was saying that the reason why he did do that is because Smush Parker was playing. He wasn't playing the way he wanted him to. It was something to that effect. But I'ma just speak from my memory because it was fresh, and I remember watching the game. So Kobe Bryant was killing the Phoenix. That's the series where he hit that driving layup, push shot to tie it up, and then they went in overtime and he hit that shot. I remember exactly where I was at. I remember watching it. So then they come back, and the game where they was supposed to put him out, they fell short. And I remember watching that game, and I was saying to myself, if they don't get Phoenix tonight, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. And that was the Phoenix Suns team that everybody was thinking that was gonna go to the to the finals at least. So they lose that game, and I think it went to overtime too. Then they come back to Phoenix, and Phoenix was putting it to them a little bit. Then the second half come, and just for whatever strange reason, Kobe just stopped shooting. And they kept the team. I mean, the team, they was trying to come back, but it wasn't gonna happen. Phoenix was putting it on them. So then everybody started noticing that Kobe wasn't really shooting. And so, the subject came up, and I forgot the interviews that followed, but I remember the inside the NBA crew was buzzing about it, and as the years have gone on, it's kind of been tucked away a little bit, because they really don't talk about that. I'ma just, as far as my opinion on the whole thing, look, after the times passed, we all know how Kobe hated playing with Smush Parker. He didn't even respect Smush Parker. And Smush Parker I remember watching the Lakers that year. Every now and then, Smush Parker would do something that would be like, what in the... So, I'm pretty sure it was the same with Kobe, because he was, from some of the stories, he was really extreme with it. So I could understand, but in my opinion, I won't say he quit. I would say that he was trying to prove a point, just like Jim Jackson was saying. And that's the way it came off. He was proving a point. Because Kobe was almost unstoppable that year, man. Almost unstoppable. So it would have been, I honestly thought it was going to be like one of those Jordan type playoff runs where, like he was beating teams almost by himself. And he was for the most part, but for whatever reason, and only those people that's in the locker room and their coach, Phil Jackson, really didn't care for it. I mentioned that. But Only the guys that was in that locker room and on that floor know what really happened. I don't think he quit. I just think that he was just trying to prove a point. And wrong or right, that's what it was. It wasn't a quit job. Like, I hate to bring him up, but LeBron, when he was losing to Orlando, and you could tell that the spirit was out of him. The spirit wasn't out of Kobe. It was just that he was just trying to prove a point. He was like, well, no, if you wanna do that, then we're gonna let you see it. We're gonna let you see it. That's the way it came off to me. I'm not being a Kobe homer here, nor am I trying to absolve him of any blame in losing that game, because that was on him too. They lost as a team and they won as a team, but he was really putting in that work, man. Kobe was really putting in that work. If you can follow it, follow that playoff run that Kobe had at that time, and the first championship they won against Orlando. Like, Kobe was doing some amazing stuff, man. And it's a shame that the Lakers was run like they were, because if they would have been able to play, if they would have played their cards right, they would have been able to let Kobe Bryant last until, I think, close to 40. I don't think he would have played. I mean, who knows? Because I'd be like, what these guys doing now? And I do remember, I do keep in mind that Kobe was from high school. So anyway, but if they would have managed him right and put the right pieces around him, he would have lasted until his late 30s. The way he took care of himself and all that, he overextended himself in those 2 years, and especially that last year before he popped his Achilles. Like, he was overextending himself. He was on a mission. Sometimes it was hard to watch because he was putting pressure on little guards, and that's when D'Antoni was there, and that's what killed Kobe's career right there, putting D'Antoni with him. But I don't think Kobe didn't quit. He just picked the wrong time to prove a point. And hey, sometimes when you fall weak, or fall prey, rather, that's a more apt term. When you fall prey to bitter feelings, then sometimes something ugly happens. That's a fact. Sometimes the difference between them and an ordinary person, their missteps are caught on video, and depending on how severe it was, we're gonna be reminded of it. Like, I remember when I first started watching, sports the way I'm watching, that famous sequence with what's that guy name that played for Boston? Played for the Boston Red Sox, and the ball went between his legs, and he was like, that was on repeat for for at least until the early 2000s. But that's pretty much all I gotta say. I gotta cut this short, man. But yeah, man. So for the record, before I close out, nah, Kobe didn't quit. He just was trying to prove a point, just like Jim Jackson said. And man, let me extend it, because look, man, Jim Jackson wasn't a scrub. Jim Jackson wasn't no scrub. And like some of these Kobe guys, they honestly take it too far, and that's been known in the basketball community. Some Kobe guys are just too extreme. Same thing like with LeBron. Same thing with Mike. If you feel like one player is just it for you, then you're gonna be on their side on a lot of times when they do something that's not agreeable or whatever, that they play themselves. That's just how it is. But like a lot of these guys that when former teammates, depending on the hierarchy, they're treated like they ain't supposed to speak on nothing. Like in certain instances that might be true, but like Jim Jackson was a pretty good player, and at that time he was at the tail end of his. He was a late 80s, 90s guy. He went to college, played for Ohio State, one of the top recruits back in those days when he went to Ohio State. Them dudes from Ohio State, man, they was yoked up, yo. Just remember, they was yoked up. That dude Perry, the center that played for him, man, they was some yoked up dudes, man. Look up that Ohio State team that Jim Jackson played for, man. But yeah, again, I'm not taking up for him. I don't have a horse in the race. I'm just reporting, just speaking this stuff out. But now it came off when I was watching it that he just stopped shooting. He didn't want to shoot because he was trying to show them, Smush Parker more specifically, that I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm gonna let you get it, and we're gonna see how it go. And they lost. So that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. Grandpa out.